Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Don't forget, if you like the video, click on like and subscribe and talk about it on chat lines or wherever it is your social media activities and help us to grow and help more people. I'll talk to you soon. Byron Raymond says, male 28, California, broke up with girlfriend of 2 years because I felt like we weren't compatible anymore. It's been 2 weeks now. I go out with friends, have a job, and gym, but I still feel really sad and alone and scared. Yeah, naturally, because definitely there were some things about her that you liked. That's why you went with her for 2 years. In these 2 years, it couldn't have been all bad. There must have been some wonderful moments that you guys created together. And human being inclined towards pleasure more than pain at all. So we selectively want to remember only the good part of a relationship. Whatever brings us pleasure, we hold sacred and we focus on. And even if that pleasure has certain drawbacks, we kind of cover those drawbacks and excuse for it. Why? Because the pleasure is more pleasant than the pain, and we like to keep that going by justifying it why I'm still enjoying this food or this event or this activity or this relationship, even though there are things that are not right with it. So we constantly give favor to the pleasure parts than the problem parts. We focus on that and we justify the pain parts, the problem parts, with the pleasure we receive when the things are going well. So we tolerate the bad stuff for the good stuff. And when we remember it, the human being's nature of psyche is not to remember pain. If you realize, when women are pregnant, it's the worst pain in life, apparently. Once I had a kidney stone, and they say that pregnancy is like having a kidney stone. And kidney stone is one of the worst pains in life. I went through it. And I could understand when they say pregnancy has lots of pain and it's like kidney stone, then I could understand what women would maybe go through when they're giving birth. With that kind of a pain that they experience, however, about a few months after giving birth, they're ready to have another pregnancy. Why? Because they forget. Human beings' brain is programmed to forget pain. That's why many of us go through traumas and difficulties and challenges and hardship in life, and then we still find happiness. We still continue with our lives because we have a tendency, an automatic program by default, that we forget pain in time. Hmm? So when you have broken up, while you're going through a relationship and you broke up, you will think about the pleasurable things because that's what you're missing. And selectively, you will not remember or focus on or think it's important the pain part. But you have to realize that this is where the answer to your question, that was a prelude to the answer. This is where you get your money's worth. So listen carefully. You think you miss her. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a long discussion, but you're going to enjoy it because you paid for it. So you're going to get it. You think you miss her. Let's see why. When you were single, you had a certain way of life. The things you were doing during the day, from waking up, having your tea or coffee, and getting ready, going out by bus or car, however it is that it's available to your job or to your work or to your schooling or whatever it was that you were doing. Then after that, gym or this certain things you did when you were single to negotiate your day. That is called mechanical process. You had certain mechanical process you were doing, and that would create your mechanical process through which you had created a routine, and that routine had created an order in life. Hmm? Now hold this here. Brain Human being in general is looking for psychological security, looking for security. And the brain part is seeking psychological security. Physically, we're seeking security. But the mind, and I call mind and brain the same here, but mind is different than the brain. But for this argument, I call it the same just for the ease of delivery. The mind and body both are looking for security, but they don't find security in the same ways. Body finds security through you knowing where things are, your arms, your legs, your limbs, everything is in place, and you're in a safe place. You're in your apartment, your place, your home. The door is locked, and you're in a good part of town. Body finds security in physically secured area. In the physically secured place, your body, being a physical entity, finds security. But the mind doesn't find security in physicality, in the physical. Just because you're physically safe, your mind doesn't find security just because you're physically safe in safe environment. Mind finds security in order of life. hmm, in order of life, which you had created it by your mechanical processes, creating a routine, creating an order, and you had balance. Then you got involved with your girlfriend 2 years ago. Then your order, how you were managing your daily life, broke and started changing because there were certain things you could not do anymore because she was involved. So you were infringing on her routine and order in life because she had a single life as well. And then she was intruding into your order of life. So both of you, after a while, compromised, give up some and added some, and then you created now a new order, which was made by both of you. So the new order was where your mind would find security. Hmm? And that was made by both of you. The mechanical processes changed a little bit. Some of them you kept, each one of you, some of them are shared. And you created a new routine, you created a new order. And in this order, after a while, you both settled. So mind finds security in this order, like it did when you were not in a relationship. When the relationship broke down, what broke down? The order broke down as well, right? Because she's no longer in the routine that you both had created. Some of the routines you can still do as you did before, but some of the routines you cannot do because she was part of it. Together you were making that routine to create that order. So the order is broken, mind cannot find security in it. So where is it gonna go? It's looking for security. It's gonna go into the memory. Because in the memory, all the mechanical process, all the routine, all the order is still recorded and it's in place. And the brain doesn't understand the difference between virtuality and actuality. So it goes in there and everything is recorded. And in that recording, when it ruminates, it finds security because the order is still the same as it was when you were in a relationship in actuality. So the brain finds order in the memory. That's why it keeps going in there because it finds order there. It doesn't have the order outside in the real life because the breakup has broken the order and it can't find security because the order that is used to and it found security in it is no longer working in the actual world. So it goes into the memory. The order is still recorded and it's functional. And it can't tell the difference between virtuality and actuality. So it lingers there. That's why you constantly think about her. But when you're there, she's also there in the memory, in the recording. So what happens? Triggers the desire fire. For desire to be born, there are certain prerequisites necessary for desire to be born. Those prerequisites have already been met, also recorded in a file in the memory. So when you see her in the memory, when the mind seeks security and the period desire file is triggered, so that file opens up and you feel, the brain feels that all those prerequisite for desire to be born is met again, is refreshed. It doesn't know it's a recording. It thinks it's now met again. And when it meets again, you desire her because the prerequisite is already fulfilled. So you desire her. And then you think it's her that you desire. In fact, it's the order of life that you seek, and it's not there. You go into the memory. In the memory, you find her, you find security, you find her. The prerequisite for desire file is open, and it triggers, and you desire her. So the key is for you to create new order for yourself, new friends, find new routines to create new order, and through that new order your brain stays in the actuality, doesn't go into the memory, doesn't have the need to go into memory because it can find security in the actual life of yours. Whatever it is that you need to add to your routine during the day, new friends, new hobbies, new things that is exciting to you, not detrimental to your health or stuff like that, positive stuff. Eventually, you will create that. And then be patient because you are 28 years old, very young, not a real perfect time to get married, anyhow. 2 years ago, you were 26 years old. At 26, you hardly know yourself still. You're still gaining experience and accomplishments and confidence and so on. So your whole outlook on what you're expecting is based and in proportion to your confidence level. And that confidence level comes from experience and the job and accomplishments. And at age 26, you're not really there yet. I don't think. Not too many people are. So when you chose her at 26, you hardly were confident enough as you are possibly today, or you will be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. So that selection wasn't really something to count on for a long term marriage. Obviously, it showed itself. It actually didn't work out. Why? Because 26-year-old, what do you know? To choose a girl that you think is going to be the kind of girl you want to spend your rest of your life. Yeah, definitely there are certain things that we all attribute to something that we really seek for in a girl, but they're not everything. But you, again, you close your eyes on things that are not palatable to you and you focus on the things that are really exciting about her. And that's what you did. And that's why we fall in love. But when it doesn't work, you also got to focus on why it didn't work, what the things were wrong. And it's not just because of you, it's two to tango. Both of you were not so perfectly compatible. If you consider all these as logical explanations, then you come to the logical point that I must continue and continue search. Just because I haven't found it yet doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means it exists, but I haven't come across it. I haven't crossed path with it. It's like you stand in front of the ocean on the shore and say, there are no ships in the ocean. But there are. It's just not in line with your field of vision. It's not in your field of vision. You can only see so far, but there are ships on the ocean on their way to your shore. You just can't see it. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not on their way. Same thing here. You haven't found her. That doesn't mean there's no one. So I got to go back and say, oh, that was the only best thing to me. No, there are lots of things on their way that you will eventually be able to see. They would be close enough for you to see. Right now, they exist, but not in your vicinity, not in your field of vision, not in your time and space. They will approach as you continue. 28 is very young. No time to get married. Focus on your career and continue your creating new routine and new order. Bring security and safety to yourself, body, and mind. And continue your way. Just because you continue gym, this and that, all good things, and it didn't happen, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It hasn't happened so far. It's like having a lovely dish in front of you and you had a couple of spoons of the food and say, why am I not full? That means this is not a good food. That means it's not the right one. I cannot find just as good a food as I had yesterday, which filled me up. Well, yesterday you had the spaghetti and you ate the whole thing. Then you were filled up. And now you're thinking about the ending result of that meal to the beginning of this meal. Continue your spoons, finish up the rice and the meat and whatever it is involved in your food. And once you're halfway over the plate, you start feeling satisfied and full. Then you cannot say, oh, this food is not going to make me full. Why? Because I tried a couple of spoons, it did make me full. But it's too early. Same thing. You're looking for it, you haven't found it. Well, I've been going to the gym, I've been doing the job, but I haven't found it. That's not the recipe. I have this, so I will have the girl too. No, you got to continue. And as you go on, opportunities start presenting itself. It's not like just because I go to the gym, just because I have a job, just because this, then everything else should also say, okay, he has done these things, send the girls for him. No, you continue and then you come across them in time. So continue. That's the key point. Continue what you're doing right. So I hope that helps you out. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.